So welcome back. Today's video is about the sun in 11th house and 10th house. What happens when sun comes in 11th and 10th? Sorry, 11th and 12th. This is the birth chart. Okay. Nine, 10, 11, 12. These are all the zodiac signs I have put here. Now, if sun comes in this house, what happens? Now, as I have discussed before, that sun is authority, sun is power, sun is father, sun is fatherly figure, sun is creativity, sun is politics, sun is government job, okay, sun is ego. So sun here, and 11th house is a house of your siblings, the elder ones, like your elder brother, elder sister. This house represent those people. This house is a house of um, your desires, your your profit from your earnings, you can say. Like 10th house is a house of job, your work, and then when you work, you make money in this house. And the next house is the house of expenses. So this house is a house of desire. This house is a house of income, your elder brother, okay. And also this house represents your business network, people around you. Like this is, always remember, the second house is the progressive house of the first house. This is the profession house. Next house will be the progression. That means the immediate progression, the immediate people around you. Like this is the native in the first house, and the immediate house, the second house, is the immediate family of the native. Same thing here. Profession, immediate results of the profession. That would be profits, income. Those people who work with you in your network, from where you know everybody. Like you are a salesman, you know these people of a group, you know that person who can help you out and giving you some sales. So that helps you to make a circle, to make a network. Now, what happens when sun comes in this house? How does it affect these things? As we know that sun is a hot planet. Sun is a warm, hot, illuminated planet. When the sun sets in this house, it illuminates this house. Always remember, I keep telling you in every house that sun comes in that house, illuminates the house. And it is like a floodlight, a very, very bright light. The person can see everything when sun sets in the house because it is illuminated. But because of being hot planet and dry planet, it burns out the soft qualities of the house. And the soft qualities are the relationships. Like this person who has a sun in this house may not be happy with the elder siblings, or he or she may not have any elder brother or sister, or they would have been died before. Usually, we don't use this term died, we would say that these people are the eldest person in the family, and they're most famous in the eldest person, being an eldest person, because sun makes you famous also, gives you fame because of your nature of ego and power, accessing those things. So 11th house is the house of gains, but it doesn't mean that it's gonna burn out your desires, it's gonna burn out your profits. It is not like that. Why? Because in such a case, this house is the 11th sign in the Kalpurush Kundli, which means this sign is a Mool Trikon sign of Saturn. And when the sun is placed in the Saturn house, it does okay, or a little better. Why? Because Saturn is the enemy of Sun. Always remember. Though the Sun is not happy there, but the Sun will do good because Saturn will not destroy his own house. See, if the Sun is sitting here and the Saturn is looking at this house, Saturn will not throw the bad impact on this house. Why? Because Saturn doesn't want to kill his own house. Yes, the Sun is there, aspect of Saturn will be on there. In that case, it will be a little unhappy from the Saturn, but it will not kill the properties. That's how the Sun gives better results. For example, if there was own sign of Sun, say it was Leo sign, then it would have been worst. Why? We would say that Sun is in own house in his own sign. That means Sun is strong, and now it can fight with the Saturn. No, if the Saturn is looking at this house, Saturn knows that this house is not the sign of his own. Is not the Aquarius sign. It is the sign of Sun. So whenever the Sun Saturn aspect on this house will kill the properties of this house, and the native will have less desires, lesser profits, or not good relationships with the elder brother and sister in that case. And also, in case if the Saturn is here and the sign is debilitated, Libra, then the Sun will throw the bad aspect on right across the street towards the house of studies, intellectual thinking, your education. That will ruin your all education because of its bad aspect. Okay, that's how the Sun does in the 11th house. So don't worry about it if the Sun is here. Don't just predict like that. The Sun is here to burn out your desires. It will take off all your profits. No, it's not like that. Sun in this house does good, but depends what sign it is sitting. Okay, and what kind of aspects on it coming to. Now I move down to the 12th house. 12th house is the house of losses, deep secret enemies, those enemies which you don't know. This is the house of spirituality, meditation, connection to the other world. Yes, the ninth house is the house of spirituality also, but in the way of religion. You have to follow certain laws. I have told you before. You have to follow certain laws in the ninth house, that you have to read the Shastra, you have to go through the Granth, and then you have to follow those steps only. But in this case, you are free soul. Sun is your soul. When Sun is sitting here, your soul is free to do the spirituality, to follow any path from where you can go to the moksha. So always remember, when Sun in this house, in the house of losses, this thing happens. But if we say this is the house of losses and Sun is here, the person is dead. I mean, the person's soul is lost. It is not like that. Then what would happen? Sun is the fatherly figure. The only thing I would say is, Sun being the father, this guy or this girl might not have a good enough relationship with the father, or the father may be sick most of the time of his life, or sick relationships in between, or they have a different level of thinking, different way of thinking of the native and the father. That will ruin the relationship from the father in this house. And in another case, I would say, these people who have Sun in this house can see their enemies very clearly. Why? Because Sun is an illumination planet. When the Sun sets in this house, it will illuminate all the house. And as I told you, this house is the house of secret enemies. The person would clearly see his enemies, who they are, and can protect himself from them. Now this house is also, as I told you, is a house of losses. These people mostly in their dasha of sun, they don't I mean they get we could say not good favor from the society. Why? Because these people are not enough famous in their own country land where they are born, or they might be involved in some kind of asylum case, they might be involved in some kind of criminal case when the sun is here, and they are not as popular in their country, nobody likes them, so they have to leave their country when the sun has this placement. Now it is not necessary that every person who has a sun in 12th house will leave the country. It adds with another factors also, always remember. But this is a strong indication of going to the foreign land and settling over there and making a lot damn good money over there too. Okay, so always remember, these people who have sun in the 12th house tend to go to live in the distant places across the oceans, live there, and they earn more wealth and fame as compared to their own motherland. I'm gonna give you an example of George W. Bush. His son is here, and he was more popular in the news in the other countries instead of his own country during the Gulf War. That's happened when the sun is here. Okay, so keep in mind these important things. This ego thing, the ego is here, the power authority is here, and this person who has sun is here. I would like to tell one more thing, that if it is a good placement of the sign, this person can be involved in crimes, but it could be a, a person working in the criminal court, it could be a person working for a jail warden, a jailer, okay, or being a house of foreigns and sun, fame, illumination. This person, if the placement is good, a person could be an ambassador of the country, or will be dealing in the foreign relationship with the countries through the government. Okay, so this is all about sun in 11th and 12th house. Any questions, let me know. You can email me down or send me a message in the message box, and we'll be progressing after towards the moon. But before that, I will throw a quiz of sun, that what happens when sun comes in those houses, so you gotta answer some questions, so this way we'll be good to move on. All right, so till then, see ya.